Hi and welcome, you new rider. When you're buying your Harley, you will enter to the HOG family and you're gonna have so many friends which are sharing the same passion, which is riding. Pune chapter's officer made a decision to just make this video for you guys and briefly explain it to you on what's going on in all the rides. And when you're getting the bike, you become a Harley rider. And the membership of the HOG will come with it for 1 year free, and you just be sure after a year you have to renew the HOG membership. And we do have short rides, which is Sunday rides, breakfast nights, overnight, and we have HOG nights, which is organized by the chapter, which you can be in touch with the chapter on the Facebook, and we're gonna put you on the group in the WhatsApp. And by any chance, if you're not a member of any of that, you have to just let us know. For the rides, we do have a long rides as well, which is Big 5, which is Northern HOG ride, Southern HOG ride, Eastern and Western HOG ride, and the National ride, which usually is in Goa. And when you go for the ride, you will get all the patches, which is the patches you will see in my jackets. And whenever you clock kilometers, you will get the kilometer patches. These are the ones that you see. And for showing and for getting all this, you have to show your HOG membership. And that's the only way you get the patches. That is really important for you guys to just renew your HOG membership. And we're going to take you through a couple of things briefly. We're going to take you through about the safety, about the maintenance of your bike before you start the ride, about a couple of points and tips that you need to know about the roads, and then about formation on the road. And the Pune 2 Rivers chapter briefly going to take you through that. Hope to see you soon on the road.
Hi guys, welcome to 2 Rivers Harley Davidson chapter. With the increase in the number of riders on the road, we would want to create an awareness to make sure that you guys have a safe ride. So let me introduce you to a couple of pre-ride checkups that you need to take up to ensure that you have a nice and comfortable ride. Okay, let me begin with the fuel. Make sure that you have enough fuel in your bike before taking a ride. If you do not have a fuel gauge on the bike, please open your fuel tank and look into it to ensure that you have enough fuel. Do not wait for the indication to come on, or if your bike goes 200 kilometers, do not wait for the 190 kilometers to fill fuel. You may not get a fuel pump at that time. After fuel, let's talk about the tire pressure. Always ensure that you have the proper PSI as recommended by Harley Davidson. Please check your tire pressure on a cold tire. You do it on a hot tire, it will not show you the correct pressure. Also keep a check for marks of wear and tear after the long ride, or even before taking a long ride. Then let's talk about the fuel. To check your fuel levels, all you need to do is open the dipstick, remove it and wipe it, put it back in the chamber, and that's about it. This is going to show you the exact fuel level. Please check your oil on a cold engine. If you do it on a hot engine, the oil is already entered the chambers and it will not show you the correct level. Talking about the electricals, make sure to be visible on the road. You need to check that your lights are working fine, headlight and the low beam. After that, your turn signals are working fine, front and rear both sides, and your rear brake light. You need to be visible on the road to ensure that that electrical circuits are always fine. The movement of the handlebar has got to be clear from lock to lock. Talking about the battery, so before taking a long ride, always check the status of your battery. Your bike comes with a maintenance-free battery, but make sure that you keep a track on signs of corrosion on the terminals, and that's about it. Also keep a check on your connections of the spark plug. Thank you, and have a safe ride.
When you go for a ride, riding gear is compulsory, others your road captain will send you back home. Now to begin with, you need a full face helmet for any ride. Harley Davidson has the FXRG helmet, which is technically engineered for your safety. So it comes with a sun visor and it is modular too. Harley Davidson also has an FXRG jacket which not only protects you from the weather but also protects you in case of a fall. These jackets are technically engineered to save you from skin abrasion. They have protection at the shoulder, at the elbow. They also have a kidney belt. It comes with a liner that protects you from rain and from the cold. It has various pockets inside for you to keep your mobile too. It is recommended that you also have riding pants when you go for a ride. It is designed for the comfort of your ride and also protects you from the heat of your body. It comes with knee armor and hip armor. You need to wear gloves for good protection while riding and also good grip to your bike. Good riding shoe is highly recommended. The grip below prevents you from slipping in slippery terrain. It also protects your toe and your ankle from any kind of damage you might have in the fall.
Let me explain to you about riding formation. While riding formation, you will be allowed a specific number and you don't have to change that number in any point of time in the ride. The basic thing is you have to keep an eye on the rear view mirror for the rider behind you, not on the rider ahead of you. We would recommend riding in a staggered formation while riding on a highway. The leader and the sweeper would be the most experienced lot of the riders. The new rider or the least experienced rider will be following the leader. To ride in the formation, you will need to communicate with all the other riders. So it's better you get to know about the road signals used by the leader. The different kind of hand signals used by the leader are obstruction on the road, stop signal, turn signal, stop for a fuel up, and slow down or speed up. There are three different kinds of formation. The staggered formation, which is normally used while riding on a highway, the single file, which is used in the cities, or the double file, which is also used in the cities.
Spread the word around. About the roads and couple of tips on the road when you're riding in India. I'm sure everybody, all of you guys are the great riders and the excellent driver, and then for any rides you have to follow international rules, which is the same thing everywhere. But for riding in India specifically, you have to have a couple of things in mind when you're on the bike. The first and the most important thing is never ride very close to the divider or very close to the left side, which is the extreme left, because you need to have a gap of meter or something bigger than that, because then you can take a decision. We had a couple of accidents which that was because of the dog or the buffaloes or the people or the bike suddenly enter to the highway and you don't have a time if you ride very close to the divider. And another thing that you have to be careful in Indian roads is the pothole and the bumpers and the speed breakers. So many places you do not get any signage for it. What you have to do is, and the only suggestion that we can have for you is just control your speed limit. The best thing that you can have a full control on the bike is something between 80 to 100, depends on the road that you are in. And another very important point is when you're taking over. When you're taking over a car or a truck or any vehicle, just be sure that you are clear. You have a clear road ahead of you, and then you have enough time. He's never late. You can just slow down when you're not sure. Don't take over of the vehicle where you're not sure about your distance that you can take. And when you are taking over truck or the big vehicle, just be sure that you're seen. The driver already seen you, because there are a couple of points in the big trucks which they cannot see you. They cannot see you on the mirror, and they're much lower than the truck. Try to use the horn, try to get attention of the truck driver, and after he acknowledges you, then take over. When you're riding in the formation, do not take over from both sides of the truck or both sides of the car, and take over one by one. For the formation, when you are in the higher speed, try to keep the longer distance, and with that you have more time to use the brake. For bumper and for speed breaker and for potholes, which you can find them in most of the roads that you're going to ride in India, brake always not the solution, because for the sudden brake you're going to lose control on the bike. I mean, only rider can take a decision that what gonna be the, the decision for that moment. But sometimes I can just tell you what was I experience or the rider's experience. Do not use a sudden brake, because that, end up unfortunately to lose control on the bike. You do not get enough light on the roads. Most of the roads in India are not having the light at night. Avoid to being on the road at night and try to manage and organize your ride which you have a daylight. When you're starting your ride, we do not really recommend you to cross more than 300 to 500 kilometers per day. But after that, when you're comfortable with your machine and you're comfortable with your group of riders and you know the roads that you can cross. But the best thing is if you cross anything between 300 to 600 kilometers per day, because then you can have a very joyful rides. You can reach the destination in the daylight. You can have a good rest and start your next day ride. I said, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Do you chapter, which is your safe and happy ride.